Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is having a fantastic, Monday. It's been an eventful couple of days with the Mirror Trading International, but that's nothing new. We're actually very excited to be meeting with the CEO tonight and one of our most prestigious leaders in Mirror Trading International. We are going to jump straight into it because I know that Gerald has quite a full program planned for us tonight. But before we go any further, my name is Sherry Marks, or Sherry Gray, or Sherry Ward. That seems to be a running joke these days. I'm the marketing head for Mirror Trading International, and proudly so. I form part of the management team, and it is an absolute privilege and a moment for me, obviously, to be serving so many members and to be able to make such a massive difference all across the world. So the monthly Q&A with the CEO, Johann Steynberg, is an initiative that we have put together where you get to connect with our CEO. He gets to field questions from our membership that gets headed up by a host. And in this case, it will be Gerald and Liz Lassen. I'm not too sure if Liz is going to be joining us tonight, so I'm going to ask Gerald to unmute himself. And hopefully he's got a little bit of a video going so we can see his wonderful face all the way from Cape Town. They always look so relaxed in Cape Town. Yeah, there you go. Totally relaxed. Proper Gerald Lassen. I don't expect anything else. Gerald, hoe gaan dit?
Very good, Sherry, and thank you very much for this call evening. Yes, my wife is sitting here next to me. She's on the other call, so she is definitely joining us. She just makes sure that I get all the questions asked.
Fantastic. Gerald, I am going to hand over to you in a second. I'm just going to ask Johann to check if his, I think the slide might be a little bit better for us. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to ask Johann, if he could just get his video going for us so we can see his face as well. And while he does that, Gerald, I want to take this opportunity just to thank you from the bottom of my heart and Clinton and all of our management for everything that you do for Mirror Trading International members. You are such a selfless leader and forever helping people, even if they're not on your team, even if they're not on your downline. I know you're a seasoned network marketer, and it is a great privilege for us to have somebody like you and Liz, especially with what she's doing in the empowering woman community as well. I've had the pleasure of working with her as well. You guys are doing an unbelievable job, and I think you guys are really answering some key questions, not just in your community, but globally as well. So we are honored to have you as members. And for me, it's a great pleasure to introduce you as our host for the monthly Q&A with our CEO, Johann Steynberg, tonight. So Johann, welkom. Hoe gaan dit?
Hi, goeienaand, Sherry. Dit gaan baie goed, dankie. Daar by julle.
Okay, jy lyk baie anders.
Ek is bietjie met vakansie.
Oh my goodness, Johann has a beard. How's that for a reveal? I like it. I really actually like it. Very good. All right. So I'm going to leave you two gentlemen to have a fantastic evening tonight. Enjoy it. Towards the end, Gerald, if you wouldn't mind just asking Johann a little bit about our system upgrade. I see that there were a lot of people that have asked about that so that we can really just put everybody's minds at ease. We're so excited about the future. We're excited about Mirror Trading International, and I'm even more excited about this call. So take it away, you guys. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you very
much. Naand, Johann. Goeienaand. Yeah, thank you. I just want to firstly thank you for being with us on my birthday and also the golf event.
Yeah, thank you, Gerald. That was really special.
I realized suddenly I can't play golf, so... But it's a game that we have to learn.
That's right.
Yeah. But thank you very much for that, Johann, and also thank you for being on the call tonight. I know you have had little sleep and working hard behind the scenes. Not everybody always sees what's happening. But yeah, we as the leaders, we recognize it and we look up to you as a leader also with MTI. Thank you for that.
It's a great
So yeah,
pleasure.
I'm going to just hit into the questions. Yeah, I think there's going to be quite a few tough ones tonight. If you can't answer, if you don't want to answer, it's also okay. But yeah, I know where it's going. So one of the questions that one of our members have asked is, as the CEO of MTI, what do you see is the biggest threat in our business, and how can we handle it as the CEO, number one, and also us as members in the community?
Okay. Yeah, I think the worst that could happen has happened. although our processes are, it's not flawless, but we do a very good job at, staying on course and sticking to our guns. We do not, we do a lot behind the scenes, to strengthen our position and scaling the business, to keep up with the growth, security, and the communications. That's, it's something that we work on daily. So I think, we have everything covered, and we can just build on this from strength to strength.
So it's basically a process, and as we go along, we learn also what needed to be done to protect the company and also the integrity of the company.
That's right.
Okay, next question. What is happening with the FSCA? Because there's a lot of people that has got comments. There's people that have had radio interviews where they say, yeah, in 4 months' time or in 3 months' time, FSCA is going to release this huge document. What do you feel is at the moment happening with the FSCA, and also how can we look at it as MTI members?
Well, Gerald, at the moment, there's actually nothing happening. We are waiting for them to make their findings public, and we are welcoming, that release. And, at the moment, there's no regulation or legislation surrounding Bitcoin. And when that gets in place, then we will abide by it. So basically, the ball is in their court now.
Most definitely. Thank you. Do you think that there will always or ever be a external audit done on MTI? One of the big boys to say, listen, yeah, we have checked it, we have confirmed it, and here's the Bitcoin, here's the trading. Do you think ever that will be done?
Yes, most definitely. It is something that we are working on. I don't have an exact timeline on that, but it will be done, in the near future.
Definitely, yeah. And also, as some of the members are concerned, some of the leadership at the top, they don't like them because of history, because of things that happened in the past. Do you feel that that is anything in concern from MTI's side in that regard?
Gerald, are you talking about the support members and then corporate members on my team?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Okay, yes. Well, I know that there's, a whole bunch of members out there that doesn't particularly like our communications, head of communications, Sherry Marks. In my personal capacity and view, she is a massive add-on to my team. There is a ton of things that I wouldn't be able to do without her by my side, and assisting in communications and on other levels higher up in the company as well. So, for me, definitely it's she's a, what do you call it, a groot aanwinst for me, a big add-on. And, without her, things will not run as smoothly as it is now. And that goes for the rest of my corporate team as well. We have excellent support staff, heads of departments, and every single one of them is doing an excellent job, including Sherry.
Most definitely. Yeah, I've also had personal contact with Sherry, and many a times I know what Sherry has done. And yes, I know that Sherry is a very strong leader in what she is doing. So yeah, there I also say thank you to Sherry for what she has done, because I know she has got the ball running all the time. So another question is regarding the withdrawals. What would you say is the delay? And then also, how can we sort it out, and by when will it be up and running 100%?
Well, the withdrawals has been an issue. We've covered that quite extensively last week in our leaders call. We are working extremely hard to get everything up and running. There's still a few hiccups, but I'm sure we'll have everything ironed out, as soon as possible. I don't have an exact timeline, but I believe that, if not tonight, tomorrow, in this week, every withdrawal would be processed.
Okay, perfect stuff. This question I actually didn't like, but I've got to ask it because one of the members asked it, and he's one of the leadership. He says, is it possible to tell typically which days the bot will do good and which days the bot will not do good, and also why?
It's actually not possible for us. Each and every trade and trading day is unique. Some days are better than others, but it's from my personal capacity, it's almost impossible to make a prediction on that. The software is running, and end of the day we get the results. There's no way of knowing if it would be a good or a bad day.
For sure, definitely. So another question is, do you think that there will always or ever be a live support line to phone somebody to say, please help me? Because at the moment, the support is just via email.
Well, Gerald, I can't say that we'll never have it. But right now, our email system is doing what it's supposed to do. And, our support staff, we've increased it by over 100%. And we are testing a live chat option on the website. But telephone support, I don't foresee that happening soon, if ever. I think, we've all been on hold on calls to big companies, and there's nothing more frustrating than spending half an hour or an hour waiting for somebody to help you. So that's it. I don't foresee that for the near future.
Most definitely, yeah. And I always say, if the support will come back to you, don't go and write a support ticket every half an hour. Because they do clog up the system. And for me personally, I say the support members I've seen, I've been involved with support, they do what they need to do to also protect us as members, and then also the company. So also some of the members are concerned about our Bitcoins being protected. How is it protected? If we can't disclose all the information, just give us more or less an idea.
Yeah, I think the number one positive on our end protecting the Bitcoin is the fact that we are with an unregulated broker. Especially during this transition that we're going through, from the Bitcoin being completely unregulated to going through the processes and one day being, probably fully regulated. If we had regulated brokers, any one of them could one morning just say, sorry, but we cannot service you anymore. And that will cause major delays. So having an unregulated broker currently is the best thing going for us. And, also the fact that it's literally a handful of people that know who the broker is. And we like to keep it that way, to protect our relationship with the broker, and also, protecting them from our members, contacting them directly, and then creating, other issues through that.
Most definitely. Thank you. Do you think that we as MTI will ever trade Forex again?
Well, Gerald, I sincerely hope so. It's at the moment, it's a lot easier to trade Forex than cryptos, simply because there's a lot more liquidity. If you trade with $1,000 or $100,000 in the crypto market, it's not that big of an issue. But if you start trading with hundreds of millions of dollars at a time, it can become it's a whole different ballgame, because of the liquidity factor in the markets. So yeah, at the moment we will only do crypto, but hopefully in the future we can migrate back to do both. Yeah,
and also with the licensing that goes with that, which
absolutely
will also be important. So when will MTI ever introduce a second or a third cryptocurrency or Forex bot?
Well, I'm looking into it. It's something that I want to do, but it's not as simple as simply just pushing a button and now we have, Ethereum or Monero or Litecoin on the system. Basically, what we have now, we've got a Bitcoin system. If I add, let's say, Ethereum, just as an example, we would literally have to duplicate the whole system. You'll have a Bitcoin and Ethereum binary run, wallets for each currency. It's virtually duplicating exactly what we have. So before our system is, flawless in my mind, only then will I add an additional currency.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And is it possible for MTI always to get a 2% profit margin in the daily trading pool? And is it possible to sustain it because the pool is getting bigger?
Well, I haven't seen a 2% trading day for a long time. It's a bit, our results is a bit down compared to what it was. But we still have very good days, some days over 1%, 1.5%, and so on. But, guaranteeing returns is definitely not something that we do or can do. It's impossible. Everything depends on that specific trading day. We are very fortunate that we do have a extremely or a very successful bot or EA trading for us, and that has served us very well.
I think we need to clone that one. So do you think that we will ever do trading over the weekends, or is that not in the pipeline?
Well, Gerald, two things. We trade 5 days a week. I joke sometimes with some of my friends saying, that the MTI team has literally given up their freedom to work 24/7 to provide financial and time freedom for everybody else. So at the moment, weekends is literally our only time that we get to relax a little bit. So we mainly use it for administrative purposes, but that's something that doesn't take a lot of time, especially over weekends, because we get most of it done in the week. But it is possible to trade 7 days a week, especially on the crypto side. But my testing has also proved that weekends for us is not as profitable as we would like it to be, mainly because the lack of volume over weekends. And I get back to the same thing. Somebody trading $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 over a weekend might have very good results because the market can be volatile, but there's not the amount of
turnover,
volume or liquidity over weekends if you do 100 million, 200, 300 million in trades. So it does block us a little bit at the moment, and we are very comfortable and happy with our 5-day trading results. If that changes in the future, we will adapt as quickly as possible.
Most definitely. We are definitely happy with the returns. So here's a question. I think not a lot of members will recognize this question, but I'm going to just share it with you. They say that there is a cap on earning $75,000 per week when you max out this compensation plan. And yes, there is a few that has already done it. Is there ever, maybe in the future, that we might change it? Because if one Bitcoin goes to $75,000, we will basically earn one Bitcoin. And as you know, we as the members are collecting Bitcoin. So is that maybe a thing that we can look at in the future?
Well, Gerald, sorry. The binary earnings are kept in MTI, for a reason. MTI is not about making the rich richer. It is about allowing every single member, to generate a sustainable secondary income. For the time being, the cap will not be removed, but things can change. if the Bitcoin price does jump dramatically, or I won't say the Bitcoin price jumping, but weakening of the dollar specifically, the buying power of $75,000, if that goes down quite a lot, surely we will adjust it. But that's not in the planning for right now. And one other, I also think we need to address the issue of greed. $75,000 times 4, it's more than that. Than what
average household.
Yeah, well, presidents of countries doesn't even earn that in a month. You're talking 5-6 million rand a month. It's phenomenal. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, no. Thank you very much for that, Johann. And as I say, I had to ask the question because some of the members don't think that that's enough money for them. Why, I don't know, because you can only buy so many houses, and so many cars. Coming back to the questions, can you please explain the process of the withdrawals and also why 48 hours? Because some of the members are still asking that question. We as leaders know, but just for the members' sake.
Yeah, the 48 hours was something that I put in place basically on day 1 of MTI. And the main reason for that is, MTI does not hold the Bitcoin. We don't have it in our possession. If we had the Bitcoin in our possession, we could pay it out within literally seconds if it's an automatic process. But because the Bitcoin is in trade with a broker, that's the first thing. You cannot simply take it out whenever you want. Otherwise, it will affect the rest of the trading pool and the people involved, the members involved in that trade. And, because of that, we submit a withdrawal to the broker automatically once a day. And that gets processed and we receive the Bitcoin the following morning. So it is a bit of a process. And sometimes there is delays caused for various reasons. And so, that's why, we'd rather try to, under promise and over deliver. If we can do that withdrawal within say 18 hours or so, it's just better for us. But we do give us a bit of a buffer just in case there's some issues.
Definitely, like last week and so on. What happened during the week?
That's right. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The last week or two, we've been really battling with various technical issues and things, and I do apologize for that. But every member can be rest assured that his withdrawal will be paid, regardless of the delay. And I do apologize for that.
Most definitely. Thank you for that also, Johann, and also the concerns of the members. So another question is, if MTI had to ever close their doors, what would you say would be the process, and also will the Bitcoins be guaranteed by MTI in that case?
Yeah, well, Gerald, we don't guarantee anything. But as the CEO of MTI, let me just say that in the unlikely event that we ever decide to close the company, I will make sure that each and every member will get the value of the growth that they've made in MTI, and also the initial, the Bitcoin. Basically, the whole account balance as it is in the system will be paid to each and every member should we decide to close the business for any reason.
Most definitely. Thank you for that. One of the questions that one of the members has asked, and I don't know how relevant that is, how will the Fsca new draft proposal affect MTI? Meaning they want to make cryptocurrency call it a regulated body where we have to register with the Financial Services Board to be representing or to be presenting a cryptocurrency space. Will it affect us? Will it affect us as members doing presentations and so on? If they get it right. I personally don't think that they will get it right in the next year or 2 years, but how will it affect us?
Well, at the moment, they only have a draft available of the proposed regulations. And a draft is just proof that there are no regulations at the moment. And when something is legislated in the future, we will most definitely need to comply. But for now, as far as my knowledge goes, none of our members needs to register as a what they call it, a CFP or anything like that. But I also encourage members to contact your leaders. Always be informed, because things change and they can change and they do change. So if something like that come up, you can be certain that from the corporate side, the MTI corporate will also inform our members about what they need to do and so on.
Yeah, I know for a specific company, they've got the presentations online and the members can only invite them because of the FSB's license holding and so on. So there is ways of overcoming that also in the future.
Right.
Second last question, can you please explain the statement run? Because there's some of us that joined MTI early. Those statement runs goes quickly in the mornings, and in the late afternoon, it seems like it takes forever to get that sorted out. And then there's no capability for the members to sign up members or to do a P2P transaction.
Yeah, that's been a big issue for many members. Probably over the last couple of months. The more members we have and the busier our website got, the longer and longer and longer it took to finish that statement run. If memory serves right, I think it was last week or the week before that. I'm not 100% sure now. Our statement run took 23 hours the one night, and that basically clogged up the whole system the whole day. The member that joined yesterday can do zero on his account because he literally has that hour window, and then the next statement run starts. So last week I climbed in, did a lot of programming on the statement run, and I'm very happy to say that it's running now in less than 30 minutes. So from 23 hours to 30 minutes or slightly less. It makes a huge difference, and everybody has now a lot more available time on the system to perform any function that they need to.
Yeah, we need to sign up some more members. There's so many people we must all help.
Well, when the current statement run reaches 10 or 20 hours again, we'll adjust. But I don't think that will happen quickly. It's lightning fast at the moment.
Most definitely. Thank you for that, Johann. And lastly, I think, Sherry, if you want to come online for the last question. There's been a lot of talk and there's been a lot of action over the weekend that I know personally of. We've been involved with a few of the calls with leadership, and a lot of people have asked the question, why is the server down? Why is this? Why is that? So if you can just wrap up for us and just give us more or less a background. And also for me personally, I want to thank you, Johann, for what you are doing. Because I know you sleep not a lot. I've seen it on the golf weekend or that week. And I know that there's a lot of leaders that are also working extremely hard with certain timelines and certain, if I can put it, judgment day, if I can put it that way. If you don't get it done by then, we will sort it out. So yeah, thank you very much for that. That will be our last call for this evening, and then we can wrap up. Thank you.
Gerald, just I have to tell you, when I saw that list of questions, I thought, oh my goodness, this is tough. But I have to just tell you that looking at how Johann has stepped into this role of CEO and running a company with 250,000 members all across the world, it's something that's warmed my heart. And I've said this from the beginning, is that it's an absolute pleasure to follow him. It's an absolute pleasure to work with him, and to see what great lengths he is willing to go at for this membership. And yeah, withdrawals definitely have been an issue. And I just want to say that the conversations at management level are not fun. If anybody thinks that it is all moonshine and roses, it's definitely not. We as management hold each other to a very high standard. And I said this in the leadership call last week, and I see Monica has posted the link in the chat section today. So if you haven't seen that video, do yourself a favor and go and look at that, because a lot of the questions that I see being repeated in the chat section have actually been answered. And I think that if some people would just step out of their personal view of what things look like just for a second and put yourself in Johann's shoes, or put yourself in the management team's shoes. And I'm not saying it's a victim mentality. We choose to be here. And consider what it is like to run an organization with 260,000, in fact, plus members, over 50,000 people that are referring the business and building a secondary income. The responsibility is enormous, number one, but also running an online business is not that simple, especially during lockdown as well. It's definitely been a learning curve for all of us. And if we could anticipate when changes needed to be made in the online space, you know what, then we would be putting that up on our Telegram channel all the time. But guess what? Life happens. And in the online space, more life happens than anywhere else on the planet, actually. So when we had done this move over to the new server, it wasn't planned. Johann will tell you it wasn't planned. We were thinking of doing it closer in December, you know, when it was a little bit more quiet. But we got put in a position, and Johann made the call, and he has made consistently good decisions. And even when I haven't agreed with decisions, I have learned to submit, because the man knows exactly what he's doing. And it's good to be in safe hands. It's good to be in the hands of a man that understands his membership and whose heart is in the right place, even through it all. So in terms of withdrawals, there are a couple of withdrawals that got caught up in our reporting function that was disrupted a couple of weeks ago. And essentially, we've had our developer team. Johann's got a big development team that stands behind him, that's been helping him to do that. So they've been working on the permanent solution to programmatically have it working the way it should. And what we've done as a corporate management team, and you leaders, I mean, Gerald, you have been amazing. Gord Fent has been amazing. Richard, I mean, everyone has been fantastic. We've decided to bridge the gap manually in the interim. So we could wait for the developers to sort the problem out, but we were like, hey, let's just be proactive about it. Johann has circumnavigated the system a little bit and pulled some strings for us to do some withdrawals, and we're processing them. So if you have a look at the Bit Bulletin, which we put out, it's our monthly newsletter from Mirror Trading International, you'll see that all our numbers are actually on that newsletter. And we don't put it out because it's cool. We put it out because that's how we try to inform our members. And if you look at the frequently asked questions page, the very last page of the newsletter, 90% of the questions that were asked in the chat section today is on that newsletter. And you can get it on any of our official communications, or you can go into your back office, scroll down, and you'll find the full publication there as well. It's a living document, so you can click on links and read more. I personally was very impressed by Johann's letter of the CEO this month, where he directly addressed issues. He's never running away from the difficult questions. And I think that what I heard him say tonight is, you know what, we're not always going to get it right 100%. It's not always going to be perfect. But that's why perfection isn't one of our levels of our mission and our ethics. It's excellence is. And we push daily to try and get things perfect and to try and get things excellent. And for that, I can only thank Johann. I personally know what he does, the hours that he pulls. I mean, sometimes he'll say, listen, I'm just going to go sleep for half an hour because I can't see my screen anymore. And then he's back on it the following day. Nobody outworks Johann in this company. So it's been amazing. So Johann, I think maybe, I know we didn't prepare for that, but we did have, I see the site is live. So I see what you did there. That's quite clever. Having the site go live while we're doing the call. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for that. And how far are we with the website, with the withdrawals? I see that there were a couple that you would be able to process tonight. Is that right?
That's correct. To be honest, I have no idea how many. The website literally came on within the last 5 minutes or so. I see, let's quickly have a look. There's about 1,700 members on the site as we speak. So it's very busy. Let's see. Well, this is the best test to see if our new server is doing what it's supposed to do. Well, I think we haven't mentioned that, you know, over the weekend, our server team, they wanted to do this for a few days already, but we were forced into a position that we had no other choice but to put the site on maintenance mode, replace a server, and do a whole bunch of necessary updates and tweaks and things. So unfortunately, I think it took about 36 hours, maybe a little bit more, but we're up and running, and yeah, let's see, you know, how it goes. But I've got all the confidence in the world in you know, in my abilities, but more so in the development and server team in India that I work very closely with. It's a fantastic team. They literally haven't slept for the last 30 hours. And you know, just to pull through and get the site up and running.
So again, Johann, I hear you saying that things are not always going to be perfect, and I think as a membership, 99% of our membership understands that, and they 100% even agree with understanding that things are not always going to be 100% correct. And regardless of what people say, what we experience within the company is obviously far more important. I know that Gerald and Liz have also been the target of a couple of horrible people making comments. And I want to just say, you know, Gerald, obviously I get that all the time. And I want to just tell you that the people that have met you and the people that know you and Liz and know your heart, I don't have to tell you this. Those are the people whose opinions matter. The rest are all noise. And at the end of the day, we're busy here with something a lot bigger than just growing people's Bitcoin, actually, funny enough. I mean, our promise is growing people's Bitcoin, but we're changing lives on a daily basis. And it is that drive that keeps us all here. I know that Johann and I have had this conversation. I know Johann and his wife had this conversation where we as the wives to the men who are driving this project, we're saying this is not worth it. We don't see our husbands. We don't get to spend time with them. But at the end of the day, there are so many people that look to this company to put bread on the table. And that is a responsibility that I know, Johann, you take very seriously. So that has been very special. Thank you also so much for answering the issue of the Fsca. I think it's fantastic that you were so clear about that. The fact that there are no regulations for Bitcoin in South Africa, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. A draft is exactly that. A draft tells you the reason that the draft is there means that there is no regulation, because why else then would there be a draft? And our legal team is geared. We are 100% geared towards whatever regulations may come into play. And I happen to agree with Gerald. I don't see that happening in the next year or two anyway. And they'll have to give us time to comply with that. And in that process, we are totally dedicated to making sure that we do whatever we need to do to be above board. So I'm very excited about the future. So Johann, reasonably, when do you think we will be out of the woods with the withdrawal delays that we have experienced?
Well, Sherry,
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yes, you are. I don't have an exact timeline. You know, I know that within the next few hours, literally thousands of members will be paid. We had an issue where, you know, some of the data got mixed up and missing. That's why members had to, you know, submit the usernames or user IDs via support. So that list will also be imported and get our attention. Just know that if you have not been paid, that there might be a slight issue or a slight delay. Please bear with us, and it will be sorted. There's no doubt about that.
All right. And I think, you know what, it's always like that in the technical space is we try to obviously do as much as we can. And I see there were a lot of people that asked about the business being scalable. I think we've done an excellent job of really putting in the structures to scale the company. And the two departments, just so everybody knows how we work, is that there's two departments in MTI that have to truly be scalable. And I think Johann will agree with me here that it is technical, which is the department that Johann heads up. And that's obviously the need for bigger servers and making sure that we have excellent security and firewalls and that kind of thing. And then you've got support. And with our new COO, he's really good at looking at scalable corporate companies, especially in a space where he's been in the pharmaceutical industry before, which was going through a regulation process. So he really understands what is required in order to scale that process. And our head of support, Romano Samuels, really is just so fantastic at what he does. And we're still feeling our way around it. We're relatively still a new company. I think we're going on to our annual 2-year anniversary next year. So it's not brand new. We still have lots to learn. But I think a management team and a company that's willing to say, hey, we're not always going to get it right, but our intentions are right. We'll push as much as we can. And at the end of the day, our delivery is, we promise that we will grow people's Bitcoin. And Johann, I think you have done an absolute fantastic job at that. Not one day have we not had trading services. Not one day has there been a break in service to MTR. Not one day have you not been available to work. And the same can be said for our leaders, our management team as well. And that is something that I think people forget sometimes. So just again, want to thank you. Gerald, I don't know if there was anything else that you wanted to add on.
No, thank you, Sherry. It wraps it up. But for me and my family, I want to thank Johann and the team leadership, because it's truly, honestly changed our family's life, our leadership's lives, and the people that walk a walk with us, they become real leaders. And that I take my hat off for the people that take the leadership to say, you know what, I want to be a leader and be a front runner, to also make this a legacy, and also make MTI a legacy company. So thank you very much for that. Thanks.
I must just tell you, there are lots of people that are watching what we are doing. And I know the three of us have had quite a rough time, you know, with that. And all I have to say is that keep watching, guys, because it's about to get really annoying. MTI is going to continue helping people. We're going to continue changing lives. We're going to continue growing. And when we're 1 million members, you can make as many comments as you like, because we will be changing the world. And that is something that we are not negotiating on. And I think that is something that I've learned from Johann. It doesn't matter what people throw at him. He is so dedicated to what his vision is. And that inspires me. Like, I'm so excited. And we'll do this call again. I think, Johann, we must say that when we've reached 1 million members, we'll allow Gerald to do the monthly Q&A again and get him to announce it to the rest of our teams, because that seems to be a lot sooner than we think.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I've predicted a few numbers and the guys didn't believe us. So yeah, I've got a few predictions coming up.
Exactly. I mean, I remember having a conversation with Johann in Kenton Park in closing. Johann, I think you'll remember that evening when you did that presentation. And I said to you, imagine when we're 1,000 members. And here we are. It was never really the plan. I know it wasn't your plan, but that's how it's turned out to be. And I think you've done a fantastic job.
If memory serves me right, I think about a year ago, we had less than 100 Bitcoin in the system. No, I lie. It was less than 500. Yeah.
That is incredible.
That's a year ago.
And do you think that this is a company that, are you still set on building a generational company?
Absolutely. If all goes well, this will be a legacy that each and every member of MTI can leave behind.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for that. So thank you so much. Is that Liz?
Yes, it was Liz.
I can hear her. Yeah, look, I must tell you guys, often I'm the one that goes, no, I've had enough. This is enough drama. This is enough difficult things to deal with. And Johann is always the one that sort of like slaps me into reality and goes, listen, we're not going anywhere. We are excited about the future and we will continue. Can you just calm your phone for me? So it's definitely been a learning curve for us, but we're very excited. So Johann, I assume that people can expect 1 or 2 things that might not be 100% in the back office for the next couple of hours.
Yeah, there might be, we all know how IT works. Spend 40 hours getting something right, and then it's not perfect. So, if something comes up on your end that's not perfect, I'd say give it an hour or two, and after that, if it's still not perfect, please lodge a support ticket. I will brief the team on how to proceed from there, and we will get you sorted very quickly.
All right, I'm very excited. Johann, thank you so much. I know your time's always valuable. This is an hour that you could have used to be catching up on withdrawals and working on the payment structures, but you give so freely of your time, and we always appreciate that. Liz and Gerald, you guys are fantastic. I'm very excited. What you're doing with Team Epic and the Strand is unbelievable. And I'm hoping that a lot of leaders will follow suit and walk in your footsteps. Also, how you guys are giving back into your communities is something that I'm just seeing everywhere. And it's heartwarming. Those are the kind of people that we want to be connected with. And we salute you guys. So, all right, you guys, that is our call for tonight. I think Gerald did a fantastic job. Johann did an excellent job of facing the music, so to speak. It's tough. It's not difficult, not easy. But let me tell you, this man has shoulders like you will not believe. And watching him navigate through those questions and just putting his heart on the line is something that I absolutely love about him. So thank you so much for joining on this call tonight. I see we had a packed out membership tonight. I will take this recording. We'll post it onto our YouTube channel either today or tomorrow. So you can send it out to prospects and send it out to some of our members that may not have been able to join us tonight. But we want to also just say from a management team that we appreciate every single member. For us, it's not about so much about the leaders that have been here from day one, but rather about the guy that joined yesterday or the guy that's going to join tomorrow. For us, it's about making this experience of such a nature that you're not only learning about crypto, but also able to increase your crypto portfolio in a safe space where the mission and the vision is clear. We are NTI. We are not going anywhere. And we are so super excited about the future. Have a fantastic evening, you guys. Be super blessed. And thank you, Johann and Gerald, very much for an excellent call.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Thanks, Gerald. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.